Hi Virgo, welcome to your March 2019 relationship reading. It's Raina. If you're looking for a love reading for single people, I've already put one online, so check it out. The heart of the matter is the Six of Pentacles. So, by the way, this reading is intended for people that are in troubled relationships. Maybe you've separated or even broken up, but you're still thinking about getting back together with this person. And it's worthwhile to really reconsider, to really think it out. If you've already broken up with somebody, to keep in mind why you broke up with them, because things have to change in order for it to work out, right? I mean, you can't just get back together. So in this case, as maybe the issue in the relationship, or one of the main issues, we're talking about the Six of Pentacles. You see the person holding a scales and handing money to another person. If I want to be literal, I could say that it could be a money conflict, because I remember reading that money issues were one of the biggest reasons that people break up. Maybe the top reason. I don't know if that's true, but I think it's more likely that one person is putting more into the relationship, more energy. You know, we call money currency, and that's because it's a form of energy. But one person is putting more into the relationship than the other. Now, I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about energy, effort into the relationship. We're showing, this is showing money because it's a tangible thing. You're an earth sign, so maybe you need to see that kind of outward display. But that sense of like it being a lopsided relationship, it can be something to do with finances. If you make more money than your partner and for some reason that rankles them, or if your partner is using money as a way to control. I guess I could say the same about you if you're using money as a way to control, but I'm hoping that it's not you that's doing that. In the past position, we have the Devil card, which is connected to Capricorn, so that's another earth sign. Now, this again could be emphasizing materialism, greediness, a lust for pleasure, or how can I put this? An excessive emphasis on the physical dimension. So self-indulgence. And I know that a lot of Virgos are pretty, minimalistic people. You're not people that tend to be given to excess. And so you may kind of disagree about what type of lifestyle to lead. You may be with a partner who wants to just spend money on lots of things and have this more high-powered lifestyle than you do. You're pretty into the simple life. And that may have caused a clash. And I did get the Strength card, which was Leo. So if this person was actually a fire sign like Leo, then maybe that would explain it, because Leo is very ostentatious sometimes. And you're very nondescript, modest, and not interested in that kind of thing. And so maybe that kind of issue played into the problems with the relationship. I could even see something with sex, like, what do you call that? Well, sex drive, but, you know, one person having a stronger sex drive than the other, and, you know, feeling like you're not compatible in some way. The pentacles can be like issues surrounding the body. So one person may feel like they are more into it than the other person, and that's creating a clash. But sometimes that person, that other individual, may even be excessive. And so it's really not that you are a prude or anything like that. They just may be like off the hook and just too obsessed with it, and maybe they have their own problems. The spiritual advice is represented by the Fool card. And this might suggest that you've pretty much gone the distance with somebody and it's really not going to work out. Now, obviously, these are general readings, and it's going to only apply to those people who, you know, the rest of the things that I mentioned seem to resonate. But at least, you know, as I said before at the beginning, these readings are meant for people who are having troubled relationships, and possibly you have been clinging to keeping the relationship going. Actually, this is kind of telling me that. This is the challenge card, is the Eight of Pentacles, and this is a person who is working very hard at something. You may be trying too hard. Again, just like the Six of Pentacles, putting more energy into something than maybe the other party is doing. And really, when I see the Eight of Pentacles in love, I think of somebody who's trying too hard. And when you're in a healthy relationship and you do romantic things, thoughtful things for your partner, that isn't trying too hard. That's really being a loving partner, somebody who wants to show the other person how much they mean to them. But if you are dealing with somebody who isn't really giving you the same attention and consideration that you give to them, that means that if you double down and you even try harder to make it happen, that really you're beating your head against the wall, but you're also resisting the truth of the situation. And I think that's the larger truth, if you will, is that it's probable that the relationship has been over for quite a while, and maybe you just refuse to see it. And this is one of the main reasons why I think it's wrong in any type of relationship, even just like a platonic friendship, to kind of take over and become aggressive. It's like, and I've witnessed this, where you have a friend and they call you, and I'm not talking about me personally that this has happened, but I've observed this with somebody else. They call the person, a friend, and then that friend does not return their phone call. So what do? They call back a second time, a third time. Now, there are some exceptions to that rule, you know, if they're afraid that that something is wrong. But if they know that that person is like that, and they keep pursuing that type of relationship, and you know, it's even like it almost makes them more determined to get a hold of that person. I really believe that relationships have to be balanced. And so if somebody calls me, or if I call somebody else, I'm not going to just keep calling them back. I'm going to allow them, because I want them to really want to be in the relationship. even like a friendship. I don't want them to feel like, oh, okay, I have to return their call and be nice. And so it's all about having a sense of dignity and also a sense of awareness that sometimes people are kind of giving you a hint based on what they're not doing. So, you know, Virgo is like the Girl Scout or the Boy Scout. They're very diligent and very responsible, but taking responsibility for other people isn't a good idea. And let those people come to you if you've reached out. What's coming in is represented by the 10 of Wands. It's funny, I've gotten 3 cards that I associate with one person seeming to take responsibility for the relationship. The 10 of Wands is taking on a burden of sorts. And it's like shouldering responsibility for something. Now, it could just be like somebody who's working long hours. But in some cases, it could be that you are taking responsibility for something that is not your burden to bear. And so this comes about when you're trying to get somebody to give you attention by doing nice things for them, going above and beyond. And then when you don't get the payoff, instead of like looking at that and saying, you know what, I shouldn't have to knock myself out to get this person to give me the time of day. You know, I'm going to leave them alone. I'm going to let them, I'm going to see if they come back to me. And if they take the initiative and call me, I'm always the one that has to call. I'm always the one that's doing this. It should be a two-way street. And so with the 10 of Wands, there may be some of you who are still in this state where you are just programmed to give your all to someone and not feel a sense of getting back. Who knows? Maybe there are some Virgos, if somebody actually gave back to you what you give to them, that would chase you away. That you're more comfortable being in the position of having a part-time relationship because you don't want that kind of level of intensity, the day-to-day relationship. And so you may complain about this setup, but underneath, it might be exactly what you resonate with. You just somehow can't admit it to yourself, perhaps. The outcome is the Strength card. This card is connected to Leo. The Strength card is talking about having that confidence and that strength to withstand temptation, to not give in to temptation, to call the person. If you are separated from your partner, for instance, and you still feel tempted to try and control the relationship with money, that's one of the things too with the 6 of Pentacles, is that a person may use their money to try to get something from the other person. In this case, it might be love. It might be feeling like you are being given attention to. It's really not a good situation. So the best thing you can do is marshal your forces to do whatever it takes to avoid calling a person who may be a user, who doesn't seem to ever do for you what you do for them. So in other words, you go out to dinner, you're always buying. I'm not talking about keeping books and saying, okay, last time I treated, now you have to do it this time. I'm saying anytime. Or they don't seem to acknowledge special days. Even just say it. saying, oh, you know, happy birthday or something to you, let alone buy you a present, but just even acknowledge special dates in your life, they just might act like nothing's going on. And there might be a good possibility that they can't remember your birthday because they may be completely self-absorbed. It might be all about them. So the bottom line is that the Strength card is showing that you are growing in confidence and that you're not going to take it anymore. And that you're going to alter your behavior at some point and just let them see if they're willing to rise to the occasion and give you the same consideration that you have given them. And if not, it's very clear that they were looking for a certain person to tolerate their nonsense and allow them to continue self-absorbed while you knocked yourself out and tried to do things in a nice way for their benefit. And yeah, so I like to see this as the last card because it indicates a sense of growth, a sense of determination. And yeah, that's what I have for you, Virgo. I hope that you enjoyed this, and if you'd like a personal reading, please check my website. The link is below. Take care. Bye.